man was tragically shot and killed in Minneapolis this weekend by a Border Patrol agent during an immigration enforcement operation. I break down the multiple camera angles that are available, discuss some of the talking points and lies that are coming out about it. As a concealed carry instructor in the state of Minnesota, I also discuss some of the laws pertaining to this issue. If you enjoy this content, please click like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, we're going to start with this angle because it shows the events that led up to the actual shooting. This is Alex Pretti, the skinny guy in brown right here in pretty much center frame. So we're going to watch what he's up to. He's observing, obviously filming, which he has a right to do, okay? We should all be firmly standing for the right to film our government, okay? Now he's in the middle of the street at this point. Obviously this is not helpful, okay? And I'm sorry about the language in here, obviously. Okay, see, now they're moving him out of the way, but they shove a woman to the ground and he's going to help her, then he gets sprayed. And then he gets taken to the ground. Now, at this point, there is probably legitimate reasons to detain him, okay? So I'm not going to comment on that. I'm going to comment on the shooting, okay? Because a life is taken here. And we're not going to see much from this angle here, but obviously that's where the shots occur. You can see he's shot in the back at that angle. All right? And then panic ensues. Lots of shots, by the way. We'll just go back to that real quick here. I'm going to go back to, once again. Here he is in the middle of the street. Not helping the situation. Hugging a woman. Now a woman gets shoved down. He's trying to stand up there. Now he gets sprayed. Have you ever been sprayed before? Not a good. I mean, most people have no idea what to do with in that situation. Trying to help the woman, it seems like. Now he's getting pulled away. Okay. At some point, they believe, or they find a gun that's on him. They pull it away. You can't really tell from that angle. And then shot. You can clearly see shot in the back here. And I'm sorry for everyone that's sensitive to this stuff. It sucks to watch that. Let's look at a different angle. Okay, here's a different angle. And what you're going to be looking at is this gentleman on the left side with a gray coat. He's going to come over and he's going to remove Alex's firearm. He's out of frame right now. There he comes over. You can see he's going to reach like in the back. And you're going to see in his hands, he's going to pull away with a firearm right there. Got it? And then that's when they start shooting him. It's been alleged that they yelled gun. Oops, I'm going to wind it a little bit more. Watch. Gun removed. Now this guy in green starts shooting multiple times. One more time here. Removes the gun. Now they start shooting him clearly in the back. And then multiple times while he's on the ground.
Did they fucking kill that guy?
Okay, here's a third angle. You're going to watch the guy in gray clearly pull away Alex's firearm. So let's watch this. There he is, center of the frame, and walks away with a gun. Let's go back and let's pause it right there. You see in his hands, the firearm matches the description, a 6-hour P320 with a optic on its top. You can see it's, you know, right in front of the guy with khaki pants. Okay, one more angle, and this would by far be the best angle, but I just have to say up front, I can't validate the authenticity of this video. AI is getting better. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. Now, I've seen this multiple places, and that's why I included it in here. It could be legit. There was a woman standing behind in this position, so perhaps that video came out. I just couldn't find the original. This person on TikTok, I'm sorry, on, TikTok, no, Reddit. But I think it was a TikTok user, says that they stabilize it. So let's watch it. And it does match up with a lot of the other angles. Guy in gray, you see he removes a firearm. Right here. And then this guy in green starts shooting. shooting him in the back. We'll watch that one. And then continue shooting while he's on the ground. 2 men shooting, 2 guys in green. Once again, removes the firearm and starts shooting the guy in the back. Okay, this is a grave tragedy, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. By all accounts, Alex Pretti was a good individual. He was a 37-year-old man who worked as an ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA. I'm a veteran. Thank you on behalf of all veterans for serving our community. What an honorable thing that he did. I just can't help but think that he was put in a bad position and encouraged by a bunch of poor leaders in the state of Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz, Mayor Jacob Fry, not helping the situation at all. These people have been leading these people to go out there and disturb ICE operations, and the Minneapolis PD is told to stand down and not help and assist, cordon off these areas so that this doesn't happen. But at the same point, we have to look at the lies coming out of the federal government. Here's what Kristi Noem had to say.
I do want to address the tragic situation that we saw in Minneapolis today that unfolded on the streets. It occurred with DHS law enforcement as they carried out their lawful duties to keep Americans safe in the threat of criminal illegal aliens in this country. At 9:05 a.m. Central Time, the Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted operations in Minneapolis against an illegal alien whose criminal history included domestic assault with intentionally inflicting bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds. He also had no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
Why tell these lies, Kristi Noem? It's not helping the situation one bit. We all saw the camera angles, and Alex did not approach law enforcement with a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. That's just not true. He was a lawful carrier of a pistol in the state of Minnesota, which means he has a Minnesota permit to carry, which he can carry openly or concealed, and he obviously was concealing it. Looked like it was in his back, so he must have had a holster, a belt holster, right? And he can do that. That's his right, right? We do stand for the Second Amendment, don't we? And I don't understand people in Minnesota, like people on the right going, yeah, but he didn't have his ID. And that's what Kristi Noem said there. It's like, that's a petty misdemeanor. It's $25. And if you go to court and you show your permit to carry, that charge is dismissed. So he's a lawful carrier. And by the way, he had 2 magazines with ammo. Like, what would be the point of a magazine if it didn't have ammo in it? He also can legally carry that. That is his right.
It is early, we know, in this investigation into the shooting death of Alex Pretti. But I want to have you walk our audience through what exactly you know. So you said last night, it looks like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. Did he say, I'm going to kill you, or did he leave a note? How do you know that was his intent?
You know, part of this investigation will be hearing from those agents and officers and people on the ground. But we do know that he came to that scene and impeded a law enforcement operation, which is against federal law. It's a felony. When he did that, interacting with those agents, when they tried to get him to disengage, he became aggressive and resisted them throughout that process. These officers used their training, followed their protocols, and were in fear of their lives and the people around them. And that's how this tragedy unfolded, and we hope we never see it again. It grieves me to think about what his family is going through, but it also grieves me what's happening to these law enforcement officers every day out on the streets with the violence that they face.
Boy, she really backed off that one, didn't she? Because it doesn't seem to be true. All the evidence points to he was not trying to kill law enforcement officers. He was legally carrying a firearm. And I just got to say to the people on the right here in Minnesota, like, have you shown up to a protest before with a firearm? because I know a lot of you have. I've been to 2A rallies at the Capitol. You have a firearm on you. And for most of us that want to go into Minneapolis and St. Paul, especially Minneapolis, and we have a permit to carry, we likely are carrying. And that is his constitutionally protected right to carry a firearm. It's tragic. He was disarmed. He was shot in the back. This does not look good at all. And as far as we can tell right now, the federal government is not allowing Minnesota BCA to investigate this. And that's a tragedy. And that needs to stop. But I got some good news for you. As I was cutting this video, there is a new Truth Social post by Donald Trump, and it gives me some hope. Let me read it. Trump writes, Governor Tim Walz called me with a request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we actually seem to be on a similar wavelength. I told Governor Walz that I would have Tom Homan call him, and that what we are looking for are any and all criminals that they have in their possession. The governor very respectfully understood that, and I will be speaking to him in the near future. He was happy that Tom Homan was going to Minnesota, and so am I. We have had such tremendous success in Washington, D.C., Memphis, Tennessee, and New Orleans, Louisiana, and virtually every other place that we have touched. And even in Minnesota, crime is way down. But Governor Walz and I want to make it better. President Donald J. Trump. Well, this is good, and let's hope that cooler heads prevail because we need to resolve this immediately. And I also think we got to be honest. Operation Metro Surge has not been a tremendous success in Minnesota. We've seen it backfire tremendously. You know, it wasn't that long ago we were talking about the massive problems of fraud in this state. And I want to continue talking about that. In fact, I want to solve that issue. But this is leading the headlines. These are the stories that everyone's talking about in Minnesota. And we can't sit on the sidelines. You know, there is a problem when federal agents are mobilizing and abusing the rights of citizens. And that has happened, and you can watch our last video to see that. But at the same point, the left has been unreasonable, acting as if we can't enforce immigration laws. We need to enforce our immigration laws. But we can do that without abusing the rights of our citizens. And that's where we need to go with this. I would love to hear what you think about this. Leave a comment in the comment section. And if you enjoy my content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.